Bo Nickal coming in here in a middleweight bout against Val Woodburn, stepping in to replace Trayshawn Gore. There's no odds out right now, but I might think Bo Nickal could be one of the biggest favorites we've ever seen in the UFC. But Val, undefeated in his own right, and has more pro experience than Bo Nickal. 4-0 for Bo Nickal. 27 years of age for Nickal, 29 for Val. And our buddy Val here, 5'8". And this one, he's a thick dude. He's a thick dude. And you look at like his past fights, he's fought up at light heavyweight before. And he's had some catch weights around like 190, 195. So he's a thick 5'8", and he's coming in here against Bo Nickal, who's obviously wants to wrestle. Might be tough for Bo to get a takedown on a short, stocky guy like Val. But is there any path to victory for our buddy Val here?
I don't think I just don't see it, especially this short notice. Like, you're coming in on what, 4 days, 3 days? Like, that's super tough to do, to go in there and expect him to take or stuff any takedowns from a guy like Bo Nickal, who's proved time and time again that he's just too much for these guys who don't have a lot of UFC experience. I mean, Jamie Pickett had no chance. Everybody else he's fought had zero chance. I feel like we're going to see the same story, and it's kind of disappointing because with Trayshawn Gore, you're getting a guy that has nothing to lose, really, and a guy who's, supposed to lose the fight, but's kind of fighting to stay in the UFC. The dude's 1-2 so far in his career. So you had a guy coming in here fighting for more than just the paycheck. This guy, though, I mean, off the couch, you're fighting Bo Nickal, a guy who's notorious for just running through everybody. The UFC is probably going to pay him pretty decent for saving this fight. I just don't see this dude having the cardio, for one. I mean, he's full of muscle. Maybe he stuffs a takedown or two, but in the meantime, he's got to clip Bo, because if this thing gets extended, he's going to get taken down sooner or later. It's unfortunate. I wanted to see Trayshawn Gore and Bo Nickal so bad in this one. But if you look at this dude, man, he looks powerful. I know he's fought on the regional scene. You don't really know what he's got against higher level competition. He does land a few takedowns of his own at time, just using pure strength and power. He gets that double leg and he takes dudes for rides. So, yeah, man, I don't give him much of a chance. He's got to clip him. I think that's the only route to victory for him. And if you're Bo Nickal, you kind of got to finish this dude early, I think, or else people are gonna, you're whatever, however big a favorite he's gonna be. You got to finish this dude early, because if not, people are going to talk about how you couldn't finish him inside of one round or inside of the first 2 minutes like you have the other dudes. So, yeah, it's Bo Nickal all day, but I hope we see at least a decent couple minutes of this fight.
For the most part, for Woodburn, his competition, he hasn't fought anybody under the age of 33. So he's been fighting some old guys on the regional scene and pretty much had his way with a lot of them. Although his last two fights in 2022 were both by decision, and that was to a 34-year-old Wesley Martins, who's 17-11, and a 42-year-old Louis Mello, who's 30, 17-3. I wouldn't say he's fighting the best competition out there. He is undefeated, but at 5'8", he's just not like. I watched the tape on him, and it's like he looks stiff as a striker. He looks strong for sure. I mean, he's pretty short, and he's got a good base under him. So the takedown might be tough for Bo, but he's a elite level wrestler. So if there's anything that he could excel in, it's probably going to be the takedown. And could Woodburn clip him? Sure, but I just based off what I saw on film, like his striking isn't anything like. He doesn't even have like a great overhand. It's pretty like tensed up and just not very fluid at all. He was set up to face Marco Tulio Silva on the Contender Series, who is also nicknamed RoboCop. He's 9-1 out of shoot to box. So I'm guessing he was probably getting put in there. I mean, sometimes they get put in there to like lose, but I think he probably would have been an underdog to this Marco Tulio Silva guy. So yeah, of course you got to go with Bo Nickal. But we'll see how successful he could have or be in the wrestling department here against short, stocky guys. So
yeah, and you think about, for Woodburn too, like a guy like him isn't exactly the type you'd think that's going to go in there and clip Bo Nickal, because I mean, like you said, in his tape, he's stiff. He's not like a super technical striker, and that's the type of guy that's going to have to or that could beat Bo Nickal or clip Bo Nickal if he stuffs takedowns, because this dude's going to be worried about the takedowns from the get-go. And if he's in a position where he's trying to defend takedowns or he's expecting one coming, he's not going to be in a good position to land a big shot on Bo, in my opinion. So, yeah, man, we've had so many of these fallouts on this card where now we're getting these debuters off the couch. And I just feel like, we're going to get a lot of massive favorites, a lot of quick fights. It's kind of unfortunate, but what can you do?
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna keep this on the main card too. It's
Yeah.
like,
How do you sell that?
really? Like, come on, man. Like put Robbie Lawler on there,
Yeah.
in his retirement fight or something. But I doubt they will. They'll probably keep him on there. But yeah, we're both going with Bo. And if you're taking Val, you got some stones, man.